I was sobbing in the cab of an 80,000-pound truck at 2 a.m., completely broke, wanting to quit for the 47th day in a row. Fast forward 2 years. We built my dream home, we got our dream cars, and we have money in the bank. And that same pain that almost destroyed me became what rescued me. If you're in pain right now and think it's your enemy, you're about to discover why it could be your greatest superpower. What if I told you the very thing that you are running from, that overwhelming pain, that struggle, that thing that makes you want to give up, is actually the key to your greatest breakthrough? Most people try to avoid pain. They try to medicate it, or they try to push through it. But what if instead of fighting the pain, you could make it work for you? Today, I'm sharing my story of how becoming a truck driver nearly broke me, but ultimately built me into someone I never thought I could be. I'm Tona Lisa Walters, business coach, truck driver, stroke survivor. Years ago, I was broke, not just tight on money, broke. I mean, genuinely broke. Struggling to pay our bills, our regular bills. I felt trapped with no clear way out. That's when my husband decided to become a truck driver. And after he was on the road for a year, he asked me to come on the road with him. Could really change our financial situation. We could do it together as a team, and we could do it faster. I decided to say yes. And that has been one of our greatest decisions we've made. But it was hard. Really hard. When we started, I cried almost every night. For months, I wanted to quit every single day. I actually did quit. Donnell just wouldn't let me. But that pain was not my enemy. It was my greatest teacher. I understand today that pain actually had a purpose. But here's what I didn't expect. I had to learn. I had to learn how to navigate the highways that I had never been on or drove on and never seen before. I had to master controlling that 80,000-pound truck and trailer. I had to learn how to navigate the road signs, reconstruction signs, pay attention to four-wheelers, pay attention to other trucks without hitting anything. And I had to do all of this while living in this teeny confined space with my husband, getting minimal sleep. I was tired, had to learn how to sleep in a rolling truck. And with all these raggedy roads, all this endless construction, it was hard. And then, being away from everything familiar, every single one of these skills was completely foreign to me. I had to master driving a stick shift. And that's something that I had never done. I had asked my cousin when I was younger to teach me in his car, and it didn't go well. So he was like, "You're not about to tear my car up." So that was a one and done, pretty much. So I had to learn in school in a semi-truck. And so that was my first time trying to shift, and I struggled, and I just couldn't seem to get it right. I couldn't get the rhythm. And at that time, they were rolling out automatic trucks, and we were allowed to get an automatic restriction. And one of my instructors at my school suggested, hey, why don't you just take the automatic restriction? And she kind of just kept pushing it. So I asked Donnell about it, and he said no. He said, no, you're not going to take a restriction. I want you to be able to drive anything. I don't want you to have that on your record. So that pushed me. It actually helped me. I decided to start going to school earlier, staying late. I went every single weekend so I could practice. Practice. And that made a big difference, but I still had a hard time getting the rhythm. And one day I decided to go with a different instructor. I went with a different instructor. And listen, who you work with can make all the difference. That coach, that teacher, that instructor can make a difference in the way you learn. So I went with Mr. Willie. And he asked me, why can't you get this? And I was like, I don't know why I can't get it. I don't know. And he said, listen, I want you to shift to this beat. And he started doing a beat on the dashboard of the truck. And I got it. I got it just like that. I was able to get the rhythm. And I was able to shift that truck from then on. And he actually started calling me the shift master. So that name caught on. It stuck with me throughout school. And when I left school, that was my name, the shift master. So I didn't take that restriction. And today I can drive anything. I just needed to have a different approach to it. And I'm thankful Donnell said no, which turned out to be a good thing, because when we went to our company, they didn't have any automatic trucks. So we would have just been sitting waiting for them to get some automatic trucks, waiting for them to get an automatic truck for us to drive while not making any money, just sitting, not making any money. So because if I would have took that restriction, we wouldn't have been able to work. And really, that's all it was. I needed to put more work in and learn that skill. So, practice. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The learning curve was brutal. Every day I felt like I was drowning in a new challenge. I felt overwhelmed by the complexity of everything I had to master and do all at the same time. I was frustrated. I felt frustrated because nothing was coming to me naturally. I felt scared because one mistake could be costly. It could be dangerous. I didn't want to put my life in danger. I'm precious. I don't want to put my life in danger. I don't want to put my husband's life in danger. I don't want to put the motoring public life in danger. So, I felt isolated, even with, being on the road with my husband. The pain of growth felt unbearable, and I questioned whether I was cut out for this. I wondered if we made a huge mistake, and there were moments when I thought the struggle might break me. But here's the thing about pain. That's another truck pulling up. Here's the thing about pain. It always gives you a choice. Instead of running from the pain, I made the crucial decision. I chose to see it differently. So every night when I wanted to cry, I reminded myself why I was doing this. The pain of being broke, and of not being able to pay bills, of having no clear future. That pain was guaranteed to continue if I quit. But the pain of growth, that pain was temporary. So instead of avoiding the discomfort, I leaned into it. And I realized something profound, actually. I wasn't just learning to drive a truck. I was learning that I could do hard things. I was discovering my strength that I didn't even know I had. I was building confidence in myself. The pain was not punishing me. It was building me up. And what I learned was that growth is pain. Growth is a painkiller. When you grow, you figure out ways to take care of the pain. When you're struggling with something difficult, you have two types of pain to choose from. The pain of discipline and growth, that's temporary. The pain of regret and staying stuck is permanent. Okay? I learned that pain isn't the problem. Avoiding pain is the problem. Avoiding growth is the problem. Every skill I thought was impossible became possible through consistent practice every day. I had to practice. I wanted to quit, but I didn't. It built mental resilience when I stuck with it. I overcame every challenge. I proved to myself that I was more capable than I believed. The pain of growth did not disappear, but it transformed me into something beautiful. Ultimately, created pride and confidence in myself and what I was doing. Today, I absolutely love what I do. I love being with my husband. I love that quality time we get to spend together. And I love that we are financially stable. So I love that we get to spend that time together. And that woman that cried every night, she's still here. But now she's been transformed because I choose growth over comfort now. And I understand that once I get through the growing pain, it's going to be something great on the other side. So now I want to help others understand this principle too. Your pain has a purpose, but only if you let it teach you instead of defeat you. I want to share this message because I see too many people running from discomfort. They're medicating their pain or they're staying stuck in it because growth feels too hard. But avoiding that growth pain guarantees you'll experience the much worse pain of regret. So my mission now is to show people that on the other side of your greatest struggle lies your greatest strength. I want you to understand that. So here's what happened when I chose growth over comfort. Financially, we went from being broke to financially stable, building a business together. Personally, I discovered I'm far more resilient and capable than I ever imagined I could be. In my relationship, my husband and I became true partners. Working as a team through challenges, it built us up, and it helped us grow. Mentally, I developed confidence because I proved to myself I can learn anything. And I also found purpose in helping others see that they're stronger than they think they are too. But here's the real payoff that I got. I am no longer afraid to do hard things. When challenges arrive, instead of thinking I can't do this, I think I can do this. And that shift changes everything. So here's my challenge for you. What's the pain you've been avoiding? What's the growth opportunity you've been running from? Because remember, you're not choosing between pain or no pain. You're choosing between the pain of growth and the pain of staying stuck. Growth is temporary discomfort for permanent gain. Avoiding growth is temporary comfort for permanent pain. And I'm going to say it one more time so I can make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. Growth is temporary discomfort for permanent gain. Avoiding growth is temporary comfort for permanent pain. Your pain has a purpose, but only if you let it work for you instead of against you. So now's the time for you to decide and choose between the two types of pain. And I truly hope you choose the pain of growth, because ultimately that is what you need to become your best self. And on the other side of that is greatness for you. So let's go over some affirmations I say when it's a hard day or when things are getting hard. I can do hard things. I am needed. I am full of purpose. I am strong. I've done hard things in the past, and I can do this too. I am always able to bounce back. I am capable of much more than I think I am. Courage over confidence. I can figure this out. I am smart. I am magnificent. Remember, you're stronger than you think you are. And your breakthrough is on the other side of your biggest challenge. Let me know what pain you're avoiding in the comments. Let me know what you're feeling. Let me know what you're thinking about, and let me know what you're avoiding. Let me know what you're growing through right now. And let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. That's all I have today. So keep growing so that you can start living life on your own terms. Talk to you later. Bye.